kind of smart windows which we are having in the market today. They give us option towards having, firstly, an energy efficient environment inside. Like you can, the way, like the environment today is shaping up, and there's so much pollution outside. There's global warming, the temperature has really been taking a big uplift. And so by having a smart window, you can basically control the temperature by just a click, and you can control the amount of heat you want inside along with the light happening. Also, like being a young architect, being an architect which is having more inclination towards the way today architecture is being practiced, where we are moving towards a minimal lifestyle, a minimal architecture. Previously, in order to have controlled climates inside, like if we study our heritage buildings, if we go towards Rajasthan or all these places which are old settlements, we used to have jali. So jali was one of the way through which we could have privacy, through which we could have climate control, and definitely the way the air comes inside was cooler. You can't exactly achieve that with a smart window, but you can have a lot of qualities being carried inside through a smart window. Also, the smart window being just a clear canvas, as he mentioned, there is definitely a reduction of the layers which I am gonna add in my elevation or to treat my interiors. Instead of having slider panels which will have jalis, in order to have privacy as well as the amount of heat which comes, I can just have one smart window in which all the features are already there. So, and definitely the noise is one of the most important things living in an urban settlement where there's an increase in the traffic. So I realized that before this also we were having like a debate on urbanscapes, like a boom or a progressive or a regressive. So definitely to have a progressive urban environment or the life we all are living in, we cannot go back in the past and say that that's how we want to live. That's not possible. That's not an option today. So the only option is to progress. But how nicely and sustainably you want to progress is the choice we always have, and we can make it. So smart windows do provide us with that choice.
Yeah, that's true. Very, very true. Nehal, sustainability being a critical part of being smart, how can windows contribute to the same?
I think in a lot of manner. Meenakshi spoke about, using sustainable materials, and aluminium is a sustainable material. So a lot of recycling can happen in aluminium. So using recycled aluminium is a great way to include sustainability. A very exciting thing which we are working on is solar windows, where instead of glass, we are using solar panels, and they are transparent. So that you get a feel of a window, but at the same time, the window is actually generating electricity for you, powering your lights and
Oh, that's fantastic.
Fans.
So
Yes.
it's multi-purpose.
It's multi-purpose. So, you are, so it becomes a value-added feature in your house. It becomes like a point of investment in your house. So today, the biggest problem which we see is people don't give enough credit or importance to the window, when actually it is your eyes to the outside world when you're inside. So bringing these smart features is what we think will, make everyone excited. So, phones became exciting when they became smart. So, so windows maybe can become exciting when they become smart with such things.
Yeah, that's true. Anyone has used the tilting windows, tilt and turn windows?
We've actually used it for one of our Alibag projects for the bathrooms.
And how has
So
your
the
experience
house-
been?
The house was very close to the neighbors, so louvered windows was not an option because you would see it. So we had taken tinted windows, and they were top and bottom tilt up and down.
Correct.
So at least the bathrooms are aired properly, because the problem with completely non-openable windows is also that it adds in a lot of humidity in
That's
the space.
true. And the smell.
And the smell,
Humidity
of course.
and the smell,
So this
odor.
actually was really nice because we didn't have to open up the bathrooms to anyone to see, because it tilted on the top. It took away the moisture, the humidity, and the bathroom was always aired in that sense. So I think it works well for bathrooms for sure.
Yeah.
Because that's also because it's a smaller panel.
That's
I'm
true.
sure when it becomes bigger in size, it's very difficult because of the weight it takes. So
Yeah, builders seem to love it. I don't know for what reason, but a lot of builders give this in rooms.
So builders, I mean, I'll just add in here, builders give it because I have lived in a building in which the windows wouldn't open. They were just tiltable windows. And
Yeah.
all of us were frustrated. But then we were like, why can't the builder just give us normal sliding windows? We want some air in. But this was a high-rise building and there was way too much wind.
Pressure.
So even
Wind
when
pressure.
a normal, like, main door would open, everything would start flying inside the house. So we were specifically asked not to touch those windows. It had to be tiltable. Anyone doing their interiors couldn't touch those windows, not replace them at all, because this is a big factor to consider, the wind velocity and the pressure coming in.
but most of the houses in Bombay currently are all non-openable windows. You
That's
can
true,
open
the newer
them-
high-rises.
Yeah, like they are only,
opened,
yeah.
That's
the
not a
windows
very
open.
comfortable living
the high-rise.
environment.
Yeah.
I have been to a building, like one of the most famous buildings in Bombay, like the Lodha Altamount.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it is like, I was staying there for like a week, and it was the most uncomfortable stay I have ever had. Like being in the most expensive buildings in the city,
That's
not
true.
a very sustainable way of
Yeah, I
living.
think windows are meant for enough light and ventilation both. I mean,
Yeah.
at least on my projects, I try and maximize the light and ventilation
How can
coming
you live
into a
without
home.
air? Like,
Yeah, that's.
So
I mean,
I'm very
undoubtedly.
happy to hear all of this. It's good for us. But I mean, wanted to just add two
Yeah,
things.
sure.
One is, even for high-rise sliding solutions are now available which can sustain these kind of wind velocities. So those solutions are available. There are testing labs available in India who actually simulate and do this testing. They simulate the wind speed. They do the testing to show that yes, even if a cyclone comes, this window is going to stay as is and nothing will happen. So that is available. Sliding solutions. We have done we've done some projects where they've had these partially openable windows, and people inside are quite frustrated with that, and they've come to us that, listen, can you just change the entire building for us? So
Wow.
that has happened. And
That's fantastic.
yeah.
Yeah.
And even for tilt and turn, so there's a solution which you can tilt, and when required, you can open it completely. So we had a customer who was living in South Bombay, close to the sea, and would love this ventilation, but he had cats in his house. So he was very scared that if he leaves it open, his cats would jump out and everything. So he had put this. So he used to keep it open slightly for the ventilation, and when his cats were not around, he would open them completely. So yeah, I mean he was so happy that he could provide that safe space for his cats with those windows.
That's nice.
And I think that for me is smart, right?
Absolutely,
that is
because it's
solving
providing
a problem.
utility.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
providing utility
Yeah.
as well as functional.
Yeah,
Most
absolutely.
important. Yeah, that's true. Divvyakant, you want to say something?
For me, design, any design, apart from window also, like any design which solves the purpose, and you don't need to put your brain so much into that. As a technology, in the mobile also, you have to search so many applications. Though it is a smart thing, but it take away your time. Anything which is softly, like for example, air condition. Air condition doesn't need to be shown. It should be feel. So any design is getting feel. You are into that. That is a smart design.
Correct. So basically the function
Functional,
comes
yeah,
first. It should
correct,
be more
correct.
functional.
Yeah.
That's true. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for...
Thank you.
Thank you so
thank
much.
you so
Thank
much.
you so much. Thank you.
Yes.